And doubly unique to that whole situation is that the history has been saved. Lahaina is a tapestry of remnants from all these different eras. The missionary era started, I think the first ship started coming over like in the 1820s. Dr. Baldwin came here in the 1830s. Prior to the missionaries coming over, the kapu system, the Hawaiian system, the religious system had already been broken. So there was a bit of a void here when the missionaries brought over Christianity. And the original missionaries that came over were instructed by the mission society not to get involved with government, to learn the language, to help the people become prosperous. So the missionaries came and there was like a void. And so they were able to preach the Christian religion and it was accepted by the people. And then they also brought the written word, which was tremendously exciting to the Hawaiian people to understand that words could be written down. And again, it was in the Hawaiian language. So they took the Hawaiian language and made it a written language. The monarchy, the kings, the royalty, the ali'i, they endorsed the education, and education was required. It was required for kids to go to school. Hawaii, at the time, in the 1800s, became one of the most literate nations in the whole world. Before that time, it had been totally an oral language, which worked fine at the time. But I think then the contact with the Western world and the ships coming in and asking the ali'i to sign papers, and the ali'i didn't know what it said, or they were told it was something different than what it was. So they saw this as a source of knowledge, and they realized they needed to know and to preserve their language in a written form. Dr. Baldwin, he was a doctor as well as a missionary. He came to Lahaina and he just became a very dominant force in the community. He just loved the people, and whenever he was preaching, it was always in Hawaiian, and they spoke in Hawaiian, and their books, etc., were in Hawaiian. One of the most significant things he did was stopped the smallpox epidemic on Maui, because he understood vaccines. And he himself was immune to smallpox, but he also knew the dangers of smallpox. Smallpox came in from some of the foreign ships, and so Oahu was hit first because he had more ships coming in. This became his passion in life. And if you read his letters, he talks about how he really wants to preach and follow that path, but he absolutely feels obligated to vaccinate the population of Maui to save them from smallpox. So he gets on horseback and he rides around all the way to Hana to vaccinate people. And Oahu had tens of thousands of people died of smallpox, and here there was less than 100. So the people, in appreciation of that, built Aloha, which is the House of Love, to honor Dr. Baldwin's commitment to stopping smallpox.
You're watching the Maui Visitor Channel, your complete source for all things Maui.
My name is Theo Morrison, and I'm the Executive Director of Lahaina Restoration Foundation. I've been in that position for 11 years, and prior to that I did other work in Lahaina with nonprofit community groups. So in total, it's about 28 years working directly in downtown Lahaina. What's so unique about Lahaina compared to any other place in Hawaii is that during every era of Hawaii's history, Lahaina was a dominant place. And doubly unique to that whole situation is that the history has been saved. Lahaina is a tapestry of remnants from all these different eras. The whaling era was actually very short. It was only like about 30 years. It started around 1830 and it ended in 1860. And there's also a lot of misinformation about what Lahaina was during the whaling era. Lahaina was never the whale capital of the Pacific. That was a misnomer that was kind of developed during the 70s as a marketing tool for Lahaina. It never was that. The whaling ships came here not to kill whales. They came here, or even look at whales like they do now. They came here to reprovision. So they'd come from the east coast of the United States, and that's a long trip, that's 6 months to get here. So they'd get here and then they'd reprovision here, which was great for the town, economically for the town, and for the farmers. And then they would take off and go up to the Arctic to kill whales. And then on the way back, when they're full of, after like, sometimes they stayed up there for like 3 years, they'd come back and again, they'd stop here and reprovision and then head back home. And when they stopped here, each whaling ship had like about 30 guys on it. And their basic theory was there was no God west of the Horn. And so they were here to party and drink and really created a lot of ruckus, which is why the old Lahaina prison was actually constructed. And if you read the letters, like from Dr. Baldwin, he wrote lots and lots of letters. The missionaries were on the side of the Hawaiians, constantly trying to curb the drinking and the carousing that went on when these whaling ships were in the port. Sometimes there was up to 100 ships in Lahaina with 30 guys on each ship that had been away from all the good things in life for like, 3 years. So yeah, it was pretty bad. And what missionaries were trying to do was stop the sale of alcohol here. And they did for a couple of years, they were able to do that. And the ship captains, who actually came right here to the Master's Reading Room, that's why it's called that, they totally supported that too. But it was just extremely difficult to do that. There's a lot of grog shops up and down Front Street, because that's what these guys wanted. But it all came to a screeching halt when they started to kill so many whales that the whales diminished in number. So they had to go further and further north. So in the 1860s, a huge number of whaling ships were actually caught in the ice up north and were destroyed. All the men were able to escape in their little whaling boats to another ship that wasn't stuck in the ice. But that was a huge blow to the whaling industry, and then shortly after that they discovered oil. And that just put the end to the whole thing. So it was like the crash of the stock market for Lahaina. It was huge. During the whaling era, Kamehameha III saw how the whaling ships were having trouble getting in at night, trying to see where the harbor was. So he built a lighthouse. It was the first lighthouse in the Pacific. When it was first built, it was lit with whale oil. Then it transitioned to kerosene at the end of the whaling era. Then it transitioned to electric. And now, in 2009, it transitioned to solar. Although not the same structure, obviously, but the same place still exists. It's still a functioning lighthouse at Lahaina Harbor. To me, that one structure exemplifies what the historic district is. Through all those eras of Lahaina's history, starting with the whaling era, it's been doing its job. All this turmoil and change took place, and it just continues to do its job till today, guiding ships into the harbor.
You're watching the Maui Visitor Channel, your complete source for all things Maui.
My name is Theo Morrison, and I'm the Executive Director of Lahaina Restoration Foundation. I've been in that position for 11 years, and prior to that I did other work in Lahaina with nonprofit community groups. So in total, it's about 28 years working directly in downtown Lahaina. What's so unique about Lahaina compared to any other place in Hawaii is that during every era of Hawaii's history, Lahaina was a dominant place. And doubly unique to that whole situation is that the history has been saved. Lahaina is a tapestry of remnants from all these different eras. After the whaling era, it became the plantation era. So that's when 1860, when the Pioneer Mill. However, they all worked together in the fields. And so even though they couldn't speak the same language, they actually developed, that's how Pidgin English was developed, so they could communicate. And they all shared their food. And when they shared their food, that's what today is what we call mixed plate, which is a combination of the different ethnic foods in one dish. However, on the plus side, for keeping them separate like that, the cultures stayed really intact. So the Chinese would celebrate their Chinese New Year and their different festivals within their camp. The other camps would go there to visit. The people from the other camps would go there to visit. So now today, Hawaii has so much of all these, a variety of cultures that are very, very strong. All over Hawaii you see the Japanese Hongwanji, different temples. There's unfortunately fewer Chinese ones than there used to be, but we have one in Lahaina. So that's another part of just what makes Hawaii so unique is the melting pot of these different cultures. That's the layers of history that we have here, which are still there. It's not like they've gone away. It's not like ancient history. They're definitely still there, still practiced. Yeah, and people really enjoy that. It's a definite sense of pride with the local people.
You have to think about it from a Hawaiian perspective. And the Hawaiian perspective is that this is our ohana.
Before you go hiking, ensure that it's a public trail that you can access.
If you're going to be hiking in a place where you're unsure if it's safe or legal to access, make sure you consult with a local guide that has a lot of experience in the area that you're going to.
There's some really hot areas, there's some really cold areas, so just make sure you're prepared for any kind of conditions.
Proper footwear is really important. Having a light jacket, having rain protection.
When you're hiking, stay on the trail.
Never enter places without permission.
You know, the old environmental credo still stands, right? We want to take only pictures, leave only footprints. And if we can take that mentality back and spread those ideas around the world, then the world would be a much better place.
While here on Maui or any of the other Hawaiian Islands, be sure to check out our sister station,
Experience Hawaii, in high definition, where you can experience the best Hawaii has to offer.
broadcast statewide.
Experience Hawaii
Takes you to places you've never been before or even seen before, and you'll meet a few interesting individuals along the way. And it's all in amazing high definition right in your home. This is Eye Candy Island style. Join us at
Experience Hawaii
for a visual journey around these magnificent islands we call home. From stunning landscapes, seascapes, and sunsets to special features exploring the beauty and individuality of our islands.
Experience the very best Hawaii has to offer. Experience Hawaii
In high definition, available throughout the Hawaiian Islands. You're watching the Maui Visitor Channel, your complete source for all things Maui.
From black lava flows to green fairways, windy shores to calm waters, 5-star to informal, South Maui provides a study in contrast. No matter how you spend your visit, you'll have no trouble understanding why we call it the sunny, sandy,